Hello, Mark.
Hi.
How's it going?
Perfect.
Okay, so I will ask you to introduce yourself to people who doesn't know you so far. I already know you pretty well, but as we're gonna have like this small discussion now, it will be really nice if you can introduce yourself to people.
Yes. Do you want a short intro or a bit longer?
No, I just want to tell about Mark and also about Packet Mail. Just a 30-second pitch.
Perfect. No, I'm Mark, 36 years old, from the Netherlands, moved to Lisbon 2.5 years ago. Basically for the company we founded in the Netherlands already, and we basically came here to explore the internationalization potential and if we would be able to develop the company remotely, and sort of stuck around for a bunch of good reasons. We probably explore those reasons a bit further down the line. But that's about it. Living together with my girlfriend, 2 kids, and this animal here.
With Alf, right?
Yes, Alf, who's spending his days at the office with me. Well, at least some of the days.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
he's a sort of the office dog.
Good. Let's go deeply a little bit about you as an entrepreneur. You know, what made you to become an entrepreneur and to start your own business?
I think the most honest answer to that was I just sucked at working for someone else. I was always a horrible, not sucked for working for someone else, but I was always a horrible student. I just never get the point for doing things for the sake of doing them. And,
sometimes it's hard to work for someone, right?
Yeah, well, looking back, it's much harder to work for yourself, but at the end of the day, I'm just way more happy doing what I do now than when I was working, for other companies. And it's not necessarily to do with being an entrepreneur. Maybe it does.
Packet Mail is your first startup, or you already have?
Yeah, no. Well, first startup, as in the first that got out of hand a bit. I had a couple of smaller projects before, and then explored some couple of things and stuff like that. But Packet Mail is the first one that grows into some substantial size.
Can you tell us how do you come up with the idea for Packet Mail?
Yeah, that was actually what you just talked about. I used to have, I basically worked until I was 25. Then I sort of went for early retirement and decided to go to university after all my educational failures. And
what did you study?
I studied economics.
Good.
In the Netherlands, but I actually went to university as an excuse to have the time to start some things in the side. So I decided to start a small e-commerce business. Didn't really go anywhere, but a large part of this was the crippling work with logistics and shipping and that sort of stuff, and that's how the problem really popped up. And
can you explain us, like in 30 seconds, what is Packet Mail?
Yeah. We basically allow small and medium-sized e-commerce businesses or businesses who sell online to ship faster, cheaper, and hassle-free. We do that by directly integrating into all different kind of online sales channels, extract order data, and based on algorithms and our customers' preference, route certain shipments over certain carriers based on the speed, delivery, destination, whatever kind of variables. And we do that usually in partnership with some large suppliers, the CTTs and the DHLs and the UPSs of this world. And because we buy their services in large volume, we usually get nice discounts on it. So our customers get the automation of the process and reduce shipping costs, and we also do a lot, basically all the logistic-related customer service for our customers. So you, as a small entrepreneur, don't have to call to your carrier when a parcel is missing or delayed or stuff like that. We just do all that work for you.
And how did you make money out of it? To the fee on the transaction?
Yeah, there are a couple of ways we sort of organically grow into multiple revenue streams. The basis is that we just have a markup on the shipping rates. We just take a margin out of that, but we also grow more and more into the situation where bigger companies have their own shipping contracts, which are more beneficial than ours, and they just use our software based on a subscription fee.
Good. And why did you choose Lisbon as a city base for your company?
That has a very sort of semi-accidental background. pretty early on, we choose to look at our startup from a very international perspective. We identified Eastern Europe and Southern Europe as very promising markets for us. And obviously in Southern Europe, Spain is one of the main markets, but if you don't speak Spanish, there's not a lot of reason to go to Spain. So we basically picked Portugal.
So you do speak Portuguese?
I don't speak Portuguese, but that's a funny thing. Portugal is very similar to the Netherlands in culture and background. Super open-minded, external views. Everyone speaks English and stuff like that. And from being in Portugal, the step to Spain was relatively easy. While making the leap directly into Spain would be much more painful.
Good. Talking like a little bit more about the ecosystem that you see here in Portugal. Like, do you think like the ecosystem here in Portugal now is strong enough to give everything that you were needing at the time to develop your startup here?
No, an ecosystem is never perfect because, or let's put it that way, every startup has, to some extent, very specific needs, and there is no ecosystem if you want very specific needs, right? But I think generally, it's a very early stage ecosystem which is getting stronger, by the year. I think the biggest challenge at the moment is funding, early stage Series A funding.
That's one of the biggest problems that you are facing now.
Yeah, and it's not only me. I think it's in the past couple of years I grew pretty decent understanding of the market here, and it's a problem for anyone at the moment. But I think it partially will solve itself.
Yeah,
build better startups, more money will come.
What made you take the decision to move into Lisbon as ecosystem? What we were seeing here that made you take this decision? Yeah,
there's a couple of reasons. I think first of all, Portugal has a very interesting strategic position if you're willing to look outside Europe. Mm-hmm. Super strong ties to Brazil, thereby automatically to South America, which is very interesting. It has a very open-minded culture and a huge pool of ambitious, very well-educated Portuguese people who want to stay here.
True. Yeah.
Given a viable economic future. Mm-hmm. And for the same reason, many of those guys left over the years to Northern Europe and stuff like that. Bring the opportunity to them, and they would happily stay at a very, very interesting price level compared to the rest of Europe.
That's true. Yeah, the life of cost here is much lower compared to
exactly. So so you have the strategic upside of going to a country with such strong ties to one of the biggest countries in the world, and just financial arbitrage on a European level that you can, for an investor or as an entrepreneur, you generally buy much more for your euros or pounds or whatever you spend here than you do in Northern Europe or in the States.
True. Yeah. Okay, just to finalize our interview here, is more a personal question that I have to do for you. But what do you see for the future, not only for you, but also for Packet Mail,
I see a very interesting, super fast growing, business with. I think it's funny because we're building the company remotely, so we don't have requirements where people are, but it also makes you not realize how much people there are there. So I hope we would be able to maintain the very small-scale personal relationship with our customers and the people who work with us, while being a decently big company with a global presence or a multinational presence, or however you want to define it.
Good.
And what particular size, I don't care.
And what for you and for Half?
Honestly, I'm a very happy guy, so I don't see myself leaving Portugal. I think I'm pretty much, at least at the moment, in a spot where I want to be.
Good. That's good to hear. Thank you very much, Mark.
Thanks, you too.
See you around.